Hey everyone, imagine this, 1637, and a single flower bulb, yes, a tulip bulb, you'd plant in your grandma's garden sells for more than a massive canal house in Amsterdam, more than a team of horses, a barrel of beers, and a lifetime of supply of cheese. People are mortgaging their houses for flowers. And then, in one single week, in February, it all collapses. Fortunes are gone. Grown men crying in the streets over plants. This actually happened. It's called Tulip Mania, the world's first recorded speculative bubble. And it's absolutely insane. Stick around, because by the end, I'll show you exactly how to use this 400-year-old fiasco to protect your own money today. Let's dive in. Tulips didn't start in Holland. They came from the wild steppes of Central Asia, made their way to Persia, and by the 1500s, the Ottoman Empire was obsessed with them. Sultans bred thousands of varieties in their palaces. The rarest ones had these wild flame-like streaks, red on white, purple on yellow, caused by a virus, believe it or not. Poets wrote odes to them. They were symbols of perfection and wealth.
In the 1500s, Ottoman sultans were obsessed with tulips. They bred them in rare colors and sold them in high-end markets.
Behold the rare plants!
In 1554, an Austrian ambassador sees them in Istanbul, sends some bulbs back to Vienna. Eventually, they reach a botanist named Carolus Clusius in the Netherlands in 1593. He plants them in the university garden in Leiden for science. But the Dutch, they see dollar signs or guilder signs. Pause for a second. These are literally onions with pretty flowers, and somehow they're about to become the hottest investment on the planet. The timing was perfect. The Netherlands in the early 1600s is exploding in wealth. They've just won independence from Spain. The Dutch East India Company, VOC, is the world's first publicly traded company, bringing in insane profits from spices. Amsterdam is the richest city in Europe. Everyone, merchants, artisans, even regular tradespeople, has extra cash burning a hole in their pockets. Tulips become the ultimate status symbol. Rich guys show off their collections like we show off our cars today. But then something changes. Breeders figure out how to make more of those rare broken multicolored ones. Supplies start increasing, but demand, it goes parabolic. By the 1630s, people aren't even buying the actual bulbs anymore. They're trading futures contracts in smoky taverns. You put down 5 to 10% and promise to buy the bulb later when it's dug up in the summer. It's basically margin trading for flowers.
10 guilders for the ball! 15! And a barrel of beer! 20! A bed too! Sold!
Here's where it gets completely ridiculous. At the peak in late 1636 and early 1637, a single rare bulb like the Semper Augustus sells for 5,000 to 6,000 guilders. A skilled craftsman earns about 300 guilders a year. A nice canal house, 6,000 to 10,000 guilders. One documented trade offered 12 acres of land, horses, and a bunch of goods for just one bulb. There's a famous pamphlet that lists what one viscera bulb could buy. 4 oxen, 8 pigs, 12 sheep, barrels of wine, tons of butter, 1,000 pounds of cheese, a silver cup, a fancy bed, and a suit of clothes, all for a plant that blooms for 1 week and then dies back. Weavers, bakers, even chimney sweeps are quitting their jobs to flip tulip contracts full-time. Taverns turn into auction halls. People are drunk on gin and greed. Prices double weekly. Everyone thinks the French nobility will keep buying forever. Debate me on this in the comments. Was this the dumbest get-rich-quick scheme in history? Or are we doing the exact same thing today with certain cryptocurrencies and meme stocks? I'm waiting to hear back from you.
100 guilders, 200 free.
Lost. What was lost? We're ruined.
What have we done? All is lost.
And then, in the first week of February 1637, many accounts pinpoint around February 3rd in cities like Haarlem and Alkmaar, it ends.
Tulip contracts. Who bids?
On get to it, mouse!
Sellers show up to auction with their contracts and nobody bids, or bids are very tiny. Word spreads fast. Panic selling begins. Within days, prices collapse 90 to 99%. Bulbs that were worth thousands can't find buyers for 100 guilders. Contracts become worthless. People who bought on margin are ruined. Courts get flooded with lawsuits. Eventually, authorities step in and say most contracts can be settled for just 3.5% to 10% of the original price. Modern historians argue it wasn't quite the national catastrophe later books claim. Mostly affected a few thousand speculators, not the whole economy. But the psychological shock was massive. It became the ultimate cautionary tale. Think about that. One failed auction, confidence vanishes, and an entire market built on hype evaporates overnight. Sound familiar? So what does this mean for us today? The lesson is simple, but powerful. Real wealth comes from understanding the value, not chasing crowds. Don't let FOMO turn you into a 1637 tavern gambler. Here's your quick anti-bubble plan. 1. Build a 6 to 12 month emergency fund first. No margin borrowing. Number 2. Diversify. Never put everything in one hot asset. 3. Wait 48 hours before buying anything hyped. 4. Focus on assets that produce income, not just speculative flips. 5. Study past bubbles so you can recognize the next one. Do this consistently and you'll come out ahead while everyone else panics. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the craziest bubble ever, smash that like button, drop a comment. Tell me, is crypto the modern Tulip Mania or totally different? And subscribe for more wild history that actually helps your wallet. See you in the next one. I'm James Bay, History Habits. I'm out.